Hello, this is Michelle Vann, where we're live with. Okay, we're going to stop and start again.
We'll continue this meeting.
Hello, this is Michelle Vann, when we're live here today as we talk about health, wealth, and spirituality. Today we're here and we're talking to Nicole Williams. Welcome, Nicole.
Hello, hi. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. Today we are going to just talk a little bit about incredibly sweet. I don't
Definitely.
know. At afternoon, I always want a little sweets because I'm a little, I don't know, little tired. I'm always looking for something to pick me up.
Hmm.
So sweets would be good. You should zoom some over to me.
I wish that was possible.
Right. All right. So Nicole, tell the audience a little bit about who you are and how you got started.
Sure. I am Nicole Williams of Incredibly Sweet, bringing you the experience of incredible, edible, gourmet sweet treats. I started about 7 years ago here in Andover. And I started because I was basically in a state of depression and I needed something to bring me out of it. And so basically, sweets, strawberries, anything dealing with baking literally saved my life.
Hmm. That is so good to hear, especially as we've come through the pandemic and people have been trying to figure out what to do and how to do it.
Mhm.
So, were you always a baker, or did this just something that just kind of happened?
It's just something that kind of happened because we moved here from Los Angeles, California. Well,
That's
that's
enough
what
to be
happened.
depressed about.
Yeah. So we moved here. That's where I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. But we relocated here for my husband's job, and he told us we were moving. I'm like, "Where is Kansas?" Like I didn't even know where it was on the map. And so when we finally got here, we moved here in the middle of a cold front.
Hmm.
And I always tell the story that I was counting and marking down the days until I can return home, but that never happened. And so the day that we moved in, we had a big 4x4 truck with our stuff there, and I didn't know what black ice was. And
Mm.
I slipped on the black ice. My glasses went one place, my feet went the other place, and I could not find my glasses until the snow melted. So I was
Wow.
marking I was marking down the days I was ready to go. But the baking part came in where actually I was at home by myself a lot. My husband was out working. I was a stay-at-home mom
Mhm.
with three young children. I didn't have family here in Kansas to support me. So they did the
Mhm.
best they could, but it just wasn't the same as being around family, and wasn't the same just being around the people that love you and that can care for you and support you like in the flesh.
Right.
So I was having a really hard time. I struggled with that tremendously. And the thing that helped me overcome that was baking, because baking requires you to be home a lot. Um, Another thing that actually helped me, that prompted me to do baking, was when we got here. My youngest son, was diagnosed with autism,
Mhm.
and so dealing with that and dealing with him and not having my family support at that time was really depressing for me. And so when I found baking as an avenue to have me release my stress and to have the depression lift up off me, it was just awesome.
You got Amazon packages being delivered.
Probably my son coming home from school.
So as you talk about mental health, as you talk about um, being transported into a different city, living in a different city, moving into a different place, having a diagnosis that was out of your control, um, you used baking as a way to cope.
I did. And it helped, and it still helps to this day. I still deal with some parts of like depression and anxiety, but I know how to cope with it now. I use prayer a lot to help me focus and to help me to bring me back to where I need to be.
Do you need to answer the door, or does he need to stay outside?
I think I need to answer the door.
Okay, I will pause.
Okay, thank
Okay, so as you were moving through, you got to move to a different city, had your, basically your life kind of turned upside down. You were suffering with depression, but also got a diagnosis of autism. Tell us a little bit about that and how that process has been working for you.
Sure. So, autism has very different spectrums.
Hmm.
And for my son, he is on the high functioning spectrum. But we didn't know exactly what that was until he started to get older.
Hmm.
And put him in a services for, not behavior services, but just services for reading and comprehension, things like that. But he is what people would call, oh, he doesn't look like he has autism. But to us, it's like, what does autism look like? It
Right.
doesn't have a face because there's so many different spectrums of it.
Hmm.
You'll never know. And
Hmm.
so his is more on the more motivational, emotional side, more of the social side. He didn't talk for a long time when he was supposed to, so he was declared uh, mentally delayed,
Hmm.
or yeah, I think that's what they called it.
Hmm.
And but we never treated him any different than any of the other kids. And so although he's special, he's still a part of our family and we love him just the same.
Absolutely. And we give that shout out specifically because this is Autism Month, and
Mhm.
there is a piece in which, as we look at how we operate our businesses as moms, it is absolutely important that we figure out ways to balance it with our families. And so, having that diagnosis, but you being able to be at home, you being able to be a stay-at-home mom probably was a blessing for him and for you.
It definitely was. I did so much research, like you could call me the Google queen at that time, because I really wanted to know, like I wanted to know what happened to him. I wanted to know if I had any reason for him being the way he was, like did I contribute to his delay or any of
Mhm,
all the questions that you could that ran through your head, like like being embarrassed about it because he wasn't speaking for a long time, but he had other enhancements to him, like he would do voiceovers for cartoons, but he didn't respond to regular, voice talking or commands.
mhm,
Um, Me and my husband, we would lay in bed at night and wonder if he would even say "I love you." But
right,
at this point, Nigel is thriving. He's
mhm.
talking, running, playing, reading. Um, he won't be quiet at this point. So I think he's going to be all right. He's going to be a
Mhm.
great for society.
So as we think about that, as we think about, the processes that it takes for us to be moms, as the processes it takes for to be an entrepreneur, I think those are very parallel in the sense that entrepreneurship is just kind of along that line in the sense that there are things that we believe should work, and if we do this and this and this, but it may or may not work the way we would like for them to. And kind of our kids are the same way. We believe that if we've eaten right and we've done all these things that we should get this great kid that, and sometimes that doesn't happen. And but yet they teach us, yet they are there to do incredible things in the world and be incredible people in their own particular space and time.
Incredibly sweet people. You're right.
Hmm. Right. So tell us, why did you choose, speaking of incredibly sweet, why did you choose to call your company Incredibly Sweet?
Okay, so the story behind Incredibly Sweet. Well, first of all, um, I had family members help me come up with the name. My cousin and my aunt actually helped me come up with the name, so I'm forever grateful for them. But I just couldn't think of any other. I knew that whatever I was going to name the business, it had to start with the letter N, because everyone in my family, my sisters, my late brother, my husband, we all have the first letter N in our name. And I just knew that it was no other way for me to call it anything else, but it had to start with the letter N. I just politely took the I out and added and kept the N and
Right.
called it Incredibly Sweet.
Absolutely. That is so fun.
It was
Gotta
super fun.
gotta keep that going.
Mhm.
So As you have built your business, so you said, you built it to really fight depression and to move forward. How did you move it from being a hobby to being a business?
Well, I knew that once I started, I couldn't stop because it fulfilled me in so many ways.
Mhm,
And I did not have the desire to stop, even if I was tired, even if I didn't want to. Um, it was always on my mind. It was something that was constantly like inside of me that I could not shake. And so I knew that it was a wrap at that point. I did not want to continuously um, fund an expensive hobby. Like
mm,
I was like, this is enough is enough. And I started to believe in myself. I started to believe in my product, and I knew that I had worked hard to practice what I know. I'm self-taught, and
mhm,
so I thought that whatever I was doing, it was a gift from God, and I
mhm,
just wanted to enhance that. And so I just kept going. I never stopped. I kept going, even in the times where they were difficult, because being heavily active in church, full-time job, mom, a wife, family member, friend, all those things requires hats. And so
right,
it does get heavy,
mhm,
um, but incredibly sweet did not fold under any of those things. So it was very important for me to keep going. And then at a point, I figured like I was getting messages from women that saying how inspiring I was to them. And at this moment, I still can't believe that I am actually inspiring like other women,
mhm,
but now it's bigger than me.
mm,
It's not just sweets. It's not just incredibly sweet. It's not just berries. It's bigger than me. And so I want to continuously inspire other women to do what their heart desires and to don't quit whatever they do, just to keep going and just have that motivation to just push forward through whatever.
right. So as you look at that, what did you start off with?
I actually started out with chocolate covered strawberries.
Okay.
And I thought they were the cutest thing ever. And they were like hideous. I look back on my, you know how your newsfeed comes up and you have a memory.
Mhm,
I- Memories as like then and now. It's like, oh my gosh. And it's really humbling because it shows me where I started from and where I am today. And where I am today, I continuously learn. Like I never stop learning. I'm always researching. I'm always looking for a better way, a better flavor, a new flavor. I'm always looking for something new to enhance Incredibly Sweet.
so you moved from strawberries to what?
Okay, so I moved from strawberries, and then in the midst of my depression, I told myself if I can do a cake pop, I can do anything. And lo and behold, I did a cake pop. And cake pops are very, very finicky. They have attitudes. Like you have to really deal with them. They're not fun, but they're beautiful and there are a lot of steps to it. And after I conquered that cake pop, I knew I can do anything. So it started with the strawberries, and then I graduated to the cake pops, and then I went to the cupcakes, and then I went to everything dipped in chocolate, chocolate covered pretzels, chocolate covered apples, candy apples, caramel apples. So now it's like into bundt cakes, and I am now enhancing my ability to do classic cakes like strawberry shortcake cakes and just different classic cakes with classic flavors.
And don't forget that you do that lovely popcorn.
Oh yes, my gourmet caramel popcorn. That is a hit.
Child, that right there. I ate the whole thing before I got home, well, except for maybe a handful, and then my daughter found it and she killed it.
Killed
So I
it.
was just like, "Man." But yeah, so as you look at that, and as you're talking about that, you started talking about the cake pops and the difficulty, it really
Mhm,
seemed very metaphoric to what is going on and what has happened,
mhm,
that you were able to take something because cake pops are really cake that is destroyed and
Yep.
formed into something totally new. And
Yes.
isn't that incredibly what God does for us, is that he takes, what we seems to be raggedy trash, the trash that we don't want, the parts of that seem to be discarded. He'll take those, break them down, and formulate them into something new so that he creates us again anew. And so I am incredibly excited about what's happening. So tell
Yes.
us, as you are progressing, as you're going forward, I know you got an event that's coming up. Tell us a little bit about that event.
Oh my goodness, this is my first event. I can remember I had a coach maybe about a year and a half ago tell me that I would do it. Like she said, it's your turn to do an event. And at that time, my stomach dropped because I did not believe in myself enough to go forward. And it was always in the back of my mind. Like every year I kept saying, I want to do it. I'll do it for Valentine's Day. Then I said, I'll do it for another event. I was just psyching myself out. And so when, I don't know, I just felt that it was time to do it because I was going over my notes. I don't know what date it was. And I actually had detailed notes about what the event was going to be. And I know I had wrote a while because it was an old notebook. And I said, I have to push forward and I have to push forward regardless of what's going on. And so hence that birth, um, Dip and Sip Mother's Day Brunch. And the dip,
Sounds fun.
yes, it's going to be super fun. The Dip and Sip Mother's Day Brunch is going to be located at Mud House, and it's at 922 East Douglas. It's going to be from 1 to 4 p.m. on May 8th, Saturday, May 8th. And the tickets for that is $50 per person. It is going to be fun, packed with everything. We're going to have entertainment. We're going to have a brunch, which is an open face omelet. I'm also going to teach the women how to dip chocolate covered strawberries. And
So you can practice a little bit before you go home and try to do it with your man.
exactly. Yes. And so I think that is going to be so fun. It's like a craft. Some women may not understand like what it is to get your mind off things or to just do things out the blue, and chocolate covered strawberries is like the perfect thing to do. And so after I do my instructional or tutorial on how to dip the chocolate covered strawberries, you are going to put them in a beautiful bouquet, line them up. So it's gonna be 1 dozen bouquet of roses with a pretty bow on it. And then you can take it home and enjoy it at your leisure.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so much fun.
I am so excited. And this is my I didn't know it was this much that goes into the work into the event. I have so much respect for event planners because
Right?
it's a lot of work.
Mhm.
But I am so excited for it. Like I'm ready for it. It's like, let's go. All gas, no brakes. We're going to have a wonderful time. We are going to be blessed. We're going to have praise dancing. We're going to have entertainment. And it is just going to be a lovely time, a lovely fellowship amongst women. And I love doing that. Like I absolutely love doing that. And it's a great thing to do. And also you get to learn. You get to learn about chocolate covered strawberries.
Yeah. So tell us again the date.
Okay, so the day is Saturday, May 8th,
Okay. So it's the Saturday before Mother's Day.
Saturday before Mother's Day. And it is at Mud House LLC, which is located at 922 East Douglas. And it starts at 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m.
All right. So, how can people get in touch with Nicole? Say they want some of those strawberries, they want some of that popcorn, they want some of those cookies. How do
Mhm.
they, because you didn't say that you made cookies, but you do.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the big chop. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Yeah. You made cookies that you didn't talk about, but so they can get cookies, they can get popcorn. Look
Mhm.
at me knowing your product
The whole
line.
menu.
I sound kind of fat. Um, Cookies, popcorn, cupcakes, bundt cakes.
Mhm.
Where can they find you?
They can find me on social media. I have my social media Facebook page is Incredibly Sweet. My social media Instagram page is incredibly_sweet. And you can also find my personal page at Nicole Brown Williams.
All right. And so as they are trying to, is there a place that they can order, or, do you have a website, or how do people place orders?
So right now, people are placing orders through Messenger. They send me a message, I get back with them, and either they come and meet at a location with me, or I deliver the goods to them.
Okay. So dip and sip, May the
Yes.
8th, cookies, popcorn, cakes. I am so proud of you, Nicole. I have watched you from the beginning, and it has been a absolute pleasure to see you grow and to prosper and to become that butterfly that has gone from that little tiny strawberry to the strawberry that is huge and chocolate covered. Just that whole incredible piece of just how you have evolved has been um, incredible in its inception. And it has been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to watch you. It's been a pleasure to see you grow and to see it. I just can't even imagine what's going to happen from this point forward.
Oh, thank you so much. That makes my heart so happy. Like it really, really does. I so appreciate that.
Absolutely. Love those strawberry earrings you got there.
Oh, these things?
Those are
Oh,
so cute.
thank you.
All right. Well, this is Live with Michelle Vann, where we talk about health, wealth, and spirituality. And today we have been talking with Miss Nicole Williams, and incredibly sweet. Thank you. And we want you to have a blessed day.
Yes. And remember, be incredibly sweet.